Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 749.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about the investor sentiment secret, because this is something that I follow, and I love this as one of my indicators. I have many, but this is one that I do enjoy following because it tells me what the public is thinking about the markets. It doesn't tell me what I think about the markets. It tells me what you're thinking about the markets and how bullish or not so bullish that you're feeling. So that's what we're going to talk about today, because this is one thing that you can use that will really help you determine whether it's a good time to buy some more, get more invested, or if we're looking like maybe we're setting up for another big pullback. So recently I was looking at some different investor sentiment indicators, and I came across a post on Twitter from isabelnet.com. And on this particular post, they had roughly a dozen different sentiment indicators, from professional investors down to individual investors. And it shows that more individual investors are not very bullish, and the professionals tend to be more bullish. But overall, people are only about 37% bullish. And that's not that much. That doesn't mean that everyone is bearish. What it means is that some are neutral and some are bearish. So it doesn't say on this particular post how many are neutral and how many are bearish, but it does say that roughly 37% are bullish. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that the market is climbing a wall of worry, that people aren't feeling too bullish, meaning overly bullish, being too, but that they're feeling a little bit scared about the market still, and rightly so. That was a pretty scary decline we had in March. But we are back to even with the S&P 500, and NASDAQ is up over 17%. So there is sort of this strange dichotomy of markets, with the Russell 2000, the smaller companies, being down 28% still. So I get why people are feeling hesitant, and I get why there is that lack of bullishness right now. But to me, that's a positive indicator. Remember, everything is contrarian. So if too many people are bullish, that's a bad thing. And if a lot of people are bearish, meaning they think the market's going to go down, that's a good thing. So we can drill down into some additional sentiment indicators. And one is the AAII indicator. And that is showing 45% of people are bearish, 23% are neutral, and 30% are bullish. About 6% of people changed their opinion from last week and removed themselves from the neutral category, and about 3.7% became more bullish or more positive, and 2.7% more became more negative. Now, when you compare that to a historical average, where about 30% are usually bearish, 31% are neutral, and 38% are bullish, you can see that we are really feeling a lot of emotion here, and that the emotion is negativity still. With that high level of bearishness, it means people are expecting the markets to go down. Now, last week, I did my forecast for the third quarter, and you know that I think in the next month, we're going to have some frothiness. I think a lot of people are going to get back into the market here. I think the market will go higher and go on to new highs, especially the S&P 500. I think NASDAQ will continue to make some new highs. And the latecomers are going to think the worst is behind us, and they will be jumping in right at another top. That's usually the way it works. So all of a sudden, probably in early August, we might find something positive happen, some positive news, like perhaps maybe some sort of treatment or some progress on a vaccine or something that's going to make investors feel like this COVID problem might be behind us, or at least the worst of it might be behind us. With all these shutdowns that are happening again, we're feeling like we're going through what we went through before. And I think investors want to be assured that it's not going to go for a round 3. So if we have some sort of a treatment that people can agree on is the treatment, and we have perhaps a way to give people confidence that we won't have a round 3, then the market will take off. And that's probably what's going to cause it. If I had to guess, that's what I would say. Although it could be anything. It could be other positive news. It could be the package that Congress is going to pass, which I think by the end of July, Congress will be passing at least a $2 trillion bill. And I think we will get another round of stimulus checks. It's rumored they might be $2,000, but I don't know. And we might have the PPP extended. That would all be very good news for the market. And I could see where if we get some good news and maybe a treatment where people feel like, okay, I can have confidence we're not going to have round 3, then the market could really take off. And that's where we get to the blow off top that happens before the next decline. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this frothiness to come in and for this bearishness that people are feeling to go away and for that to flip from bearish to bullish. And that's how you can track the progress, is just by following some sentiment indicators. There's Sentiment Trader on Twitter. There's AAII. There are indicators in Barron's and also in Investor's Business Daily that I look at. So you can find these sentiment indicators all over. There's not really one that's special or more correct than others, but pay attention to sentiment because it really is a good indication of, are we still climbing that wall of worry, or are people feeling a little bit too confident that the market's going to continue? Because usually when everybody jumps in at the top and nobody's scared anymore, and everyone thinks the market's going to go up, is usually when we do see the turn. So now you have a really great sentiment indicator. It's no longer a secret. I hope you use it in your regular investing and use it as a guide to see, what are people thinking? What are people feeling? And is the market more bullish or more bearish right now? Because you want to do the opposite of the crowd. So as you know, we have our review contest going right now, and I wanted to share with you a couple of reviews and thank people for leaving these reviews for the podcast. We had some nice 5-star reviews last week. This one from CMG85, 5 stars. Love Linda. Linda makes finances easy to understand and gives such great advice. I'm constantly telling people about this podcast, especially you adults. It's so important to educate yourself about finances. Thank you so much, Linda. Well, thank you. It's kind of embarrassing to read these sometimes, but thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad that people of all ages like this podcast. And I love that it can be multi-generational. That just tickles my heart. So that's really great. Here's another one from DT Smith, 5 stars. Great podcast. They say, been listening to this podcast for months. Great insight, a must for investors. Thank you. Appreciate that. Here's another 5-star from Tsukiko Suna. It says, love this show. Linda shows an incredible amount of knowledge and great insights on finance and the economy. I always learn from her. Thank you. Hey, well, thank you. And thank you for being a listener and for taking the time to write a review. I really, really appreciate that. It's really fun to hear from you and hear your feedback, hear what you like about the show, and I just feel so grateful for you and for all of our listeners. So thank you for that. We are coming up on 5 million downloads. We will hit that probably within a week, so I will be doing a special 5 million download episode for you. And I'm excited about that. And just thank you, everyone, for listening, for being here consistently, for hanging in there with me. And it really means a lot that you've taken the time to write a review. And for people who do write reviews, of course, you have the opportunity to win one of 25 prizes I'm giving away. And that is 10 of my Wealth Heiress books signed by me. Of course, that book was named to the list of all-time best wealth books, and men love it too. And I will be giving away 10 of my Wealthy Mindset Blueprint audio sets, valued at $197, and 5 people will win 30-minute one-on-one wealth mentoring sessions with me. All you need to do is leave a review for Be Wealthy and Smart on iTunes, or if you have an Android phone, leave it at Stitcher.com. That's STITCHER.com. Just search Be Wealthy and Smart and leave your review there. And if you've read the Wealth Heiress book and you leave a book review on Amazon, that gets your name in the drawing 2 times. I really appreciate those book reviews, and it helps get my book noticed. So thank you for that. And I will be announcing the winners on August 31st. So make sure to mark your calendar to listen that day and see if your name is called. And some people are using abbreviations or code names, so don't forget the code name that you're using too. And when you're writing the book reviews on Amazon, some people are forgetting to put a name in there, and so it just says Amazon customer. So make sure that you put some sort of identifying name in your review so I can call out your code name or real name and you can collect your prize. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.